आपण फर्स्ट चॅप्टर जो आहे तो पाहूया. तर आपलं आहे इंट्रोडक्शन टू फायनान्शियल सर्व्हिस. तर याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला फायनान्शियल सर्व्हिसची कन्सेप्ट पाहिजे. त्याच्यानंतर फायनान्शियल याचं कॅरेस्टिक्स, फायनान्शियल सर्व्हिसचे काही कॅरेस्टिक्स आहेत ते आपण स्टडी करणार आहोत. त्यांच्यानंतर फंक्शन्स ऑफ फायनान्शियल सर्व्हिस, त्याचे फंक्शन्स, त्याच्यानंतर क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ फायनान्शियल सर्व्हिस, त्याच्यानंतर ट्रॅडिशनल फायनान्शियल सर्व्हिस, मॉडर्न फायनान्शियल सर्व्हिस इन इंडिया कशी सिस्टम चालते, त्याच्यानंतर फायनान्शियल सर्व्हिस challenges of India या ठिकाणी. तर what is mean the financial service? The financial service means are fundamental to economics growth and development of any nation's banking, investment, insurance, debit and equity financing help individuals provide private investors to save money guard against uncertainty to build great file enabling business to set up, expand and compete in a local and global market. On the other hand, for the poor, this service reduce variability and enable people to manage the assist available to them in way that generate income. The main aim of this unit is to introduce the concept of financial service, its types, importance in the financial system. In this unit also explore the status of financial service sector in India. The financial service refer to service provided by the banks and financial institutes in a financial system. All types of activities which are of financial natures may be regarded as a financial service in a broad sense. The term financial service means mobilizations and allocations of services. This includes all activities in the transformations of saving into investment. The finance industry covers a broad range of organizations that deal with management of inflow and outflows of funds in an economics. Among these organizations are assist management companies like leasing company, merchant bankers, and liberty management companies like listening companies, merchant bankers, and liberty management companies like discounting house and expectations house are further general financial institutions like banks, credit card company, insurance companies, consumer finance companies, stock exchange, and some governments sponsors enterprise follows are some of the example of financial service. Characteristics of financial service customer centric. Financial service are usually customer focused. Financial service are provided depending on need of customer. For example, a listening finance service may be need by an industrial customer, while merchant banker service may be need by a company issuing new equity share in the market. Financial service firms like other service firms continuously remain to touch with their customers so that they can design products which can cater to be the specific needs of their customer. Intangibility. Financial services are integral in our natures in a highly comparative global environment. Brand image is very important. Unless the financial institutions providing financial products and service have good image enjoying the confidence of other clients, they may not be successfully. Concomitant productions of financial service and delivery of this service have to be concomitant both their functions, example productions of new and innovations, financial service and supply of this service are to be performed simultaneously, variable in nature. Like other service, financial service also require a match between demand and supply. Service cannot be stored. They have to be supplied when customer and needs them. Next, dominance of human elements, adversary, inherently information based. Next, functions of financial service. Financial service considers an important part of the financial system. Financial service though the network of functional institutions, financial market and the financial instruments serve the needs of individuals, institutions and cooperate with these three elements that the functionings of the financial system. Indian economics is a facilitated. Consider its natures and importance. Financial services are regarded as the core elements of the financial system. Business and orderly functioning of the financial system depends to a great deal on the range and the quality of functional service system by the financial intermediaries. Especially financial service perform follow functions for the order developments of the economics. First is mobilization of funds, second effective utilizations of funds, third transformations of risks, fourth enhancements of economic development, fifth provision of a equality, and sixth creations of employment opportunities. Classifications of financial service. Financial service refers to an assortment of institutions that provide the means for people to save the future, hedge against risks, acquire capital for the consumptions, and organize capital for investment. Financial service cover wide range of activities like fund raising, fund development, credit rating, underwriting, merchant banking, dispository, mutual fund, book building, etc. Financial service can be broadly classified as traditional financial service. First is two heads. First is fund-based service, and the second fee-based service. Fund-based service मध्ये primary market activities, secondary market activities, foreign exchange market activities, specialized in financial service activities, financial engage activities. Second, the important fund-based service including implementing finance, higher purchase and customer credit, billing discovery, venture capital, housing finance, insurance service, factoring, etc. Fee-based serviceमध्ये fee-based financial service are those service wherein financial institutions operating specializations fee to earn a special income in the form of fees or dividends or brokerage or operations. The major fee-based financial services are as follow. First, margin capital issue according to SEBI guidelines, making arrangements of funds from financial situations to meet the project cost and working capital, making arrangements for the placement of the capital and debit instruments with investment distributions, assisting the process of getting all governments and liquidative clearance, managing the protocols, the fees-based advisory service include. issue management, portfolio management, corporate counseling, loan syndications, merger and acquisitions, capital restriction, credit rating, stock booking, etc. Next, modern financial service. Uh, Modern financial service including invaluable activities, retainer projects, advisory service, planning for manager, sign acquisitions, guidance at corporate customers in capital, custody, acting as trustee and day holders, recommending situations in finance structure in the financial collaboration, though joint venture, rehabilitating and construction stake companies, though reconstruction siding of risks, though revive trading, managing portfolio of this public sector corporation, asset liability management, undertaking risk management service to insurance, advertising clients for selecting the best source of funds. Second, guiding clients for determining the operation debit equity mix. Next is financial service in India. The innovations of financial service industry in India can be discussed in many phases. The first phase from 1960 to 80 saw the emergence of merchant banking, insurance and researching service. Financial services like merchant banking were not known till the early 1960s in investment companies, for example Unit Trust of India, UTI, and other life insurance businesses were entered by life insurance corporations. During this phase, general insurance also made in marks. The same service emerged at the end of 1970s. Most the companies in miscellaneous service were engaged in economic financing during 1980s. Financial service entered in a second phase. Modern financial service include share transfer, mutual funds, factoring, consulting, venture capital, credit card, and credit trading. Exchange Indian finance in the financial service sector. Um, a large number of the banks and non-banking finance companies (NBFC) are providing a variety of financial services to both individual and industrial clients. Annual Kano 2010 has identified following challenges financial service industry in India. First challenge is marketing segments in covered phase, change in society and relationship partners. The talent pool is shadow and inherent talent pool in shallow and intelligent and for regulatory and outside standards. Supplemental team seniority, system allocations, capital gains tax, certificate of deposit, convertible bond, constitutional account, defined benefit plan, factoring, fee-based service, financial system, fund-based service, investment risk, liability insurance, life insurance, mutual funds, primary market, secondary market, etc. Next chapter is banking service. What is this by merchant marketing? This concept आपण पाहणार आहोत. त्याच्यानंतर understand the historical evolutions of merchant banking. Explain the service written by merchant bankers. Distinguishes between merchant banks and investment banks. Behavior about the SEBI rules and regulations related to merchant banking. Understand the concept of due to ordinance in merchant banking. Merchant means was used to due to its roots in merchant trade. Someone defined neither merchant banker as being neither merchant nor banker. However, the term merchant banking was used as providing a range of financial services starting from the project appraisal to arranging funds from banks and financial institutions. It is a service-oriented industry specializing in investment and financial decision making. Merchant banking assistance in making complex financial strategies, assessing capital requirements and helping in writing, printing, debit for compliance. Also, merchant bankers perform capital management activities as lead manage during the process of raising money from equity and debit market. Nature of merchant banking. It is a clear from the name of merchant banking that it is a skill-based activities and serving financial need of every client requires focused skill-based to provide for the requirements of the client. SEBI has made the quality of manpower as one of the criteria of registration for as merchant banker. The skill should not be essential in issue management and underwriting alone, which may have another important or basic in a business. Merchant bankers can turn to any of the activities mentioned above depending upon resources such as capital, foreign ties up for overrates activities and skills. Practical background of merchant banking. Merchant banking as the term has in Europe from the 18th century. At that time, merchant banking was related to an individual or a banking house whose primary function was to facilitate the business process between a product and the financial requirements for its development. The Italian merchant bankers including into England not only the Bill of Exchange but also all the institutions and techniques concerned with the organized money market during 17th and 18th centuries. In France, merchant bankers were not merely a tender but also acted as an entrepreneur by investing their accumulated profits in all forms of promise activity. After the Second World War, merchant banks also started expanding their activities in the development and less development countries. This provided many opportunities for merchant banks to move into new financial service. They started offering issue management knowledge and take over advanced project management service to their clients apart from traditional needs. Essential activity thus merchant banking became a professional and specialized business due to competition. This banks also started offering portfolio managers, asset counseling, mutual capital providers, mutual service to their clients, and similarly commercial and investment banks are offering merchant service, thereby adding competition and value for merchant banking. Commercial and investment banks started undertaking merchant banking activities by establishing their subsidiaries or divisions continue for merchant banking service. Therefore, the role of merchant banks evolved when the leading merchant firms started offering both advertising as well as financing to their clients. Merchant banking in India. The need of merchant banking service in India fell from the fact that high-level industrialization was taking place in the country. So was a need for skilled professionals to take care of various financial needs of the advanced industrial sector. These specialist services are also of great importance for the small and medium-sized enterprise to help them operate smoothly by elaborating on the various issues related to discussion. In the merchandising activity was formally intervened greatly bank received the license from Reserve Bank in 1967 to operate to merchandise. Great Lakes Bank started with management of capital issues. Typically, leads of the elite class of entrepreneurs for diverse financial services ranging from production, planning, and system design to market research. Even by providing management consulting service to meet the requirements of small and medium enterprises than large sector set up in emerging organization in the 1970s. Categories of merchandising uh, first category is consumer-based merchandising organizations offered as subscribers to institutions or those recognized by the state or central government. Public services are those that operate as divisions or subsidiaries of the national commercial banks or the foreign banks functioning in the third category consists of qualified brokers who provide skilled merchant banking service line through fund management. The direct merchandising organ number has sole proprietorship direct limited, public limited or partnership company. Role of functions of merchant bankers in India. Merchant banks in India that carry out of the following financial service, especially is corporate counseling, second basic counseling and pre-investment studies, advertising services for capital, receipt taking and credit penetration, control basic finance, issue management and underwriting, portfolio management, working capital finance, the accounting and acceptance credit, merge, acknowledgement and take your capital, lease finance, foreign finance finance, basic expenses. Corporate counseling means activities that it is undertaken for the efficient and smooth running of a business enterprise is known as the corporate counseling. The following activity is from part of the trade counseling. First is providing guidance in the areas of diversification, space, and the governance policy. Second, undertaking approaches to products and policies for growth and stability and forecasting future costs of the business. Third, assuming all companies and land experience of the progress, the technology and process arising their e-commerce and discussing their capital base. Making the domestic studies for the industry and business unit, assessment of the rival exports and planning for rehabilitation, the migration and diversification finance of the financial and organizational sector, arranging for the trail of the financial assistance banks for scheme of rehabilitation financial needs, providing assistance in getting stocks loans for financial assistance for possible essential and the specified trade messages from the bank, extend the possibilities for taking in speech and providing assistance making personalization and reconnaissance with financial assistance and investment encourage the productive basic considering and serious study. Project control is to the page defines the project people. Decisions like the financial pattern of the project proposal, the project collaboration, of how for the project. The investment studies relate to the activities and making determine feasibility, expression to evidence, alternative evidence, of practical investment in terms of growth and professional perspective are important activities which investment and the project functioning as necessary necessary to the of the project certified in project design, providing advice for the industrial types. By outstanding consultants, decision is in the selections of a technical consulting organization for preparing project reports and market surveys, review of the project reports and market survey reports preparing by PCO, assessing the preparation of the project report from a financial levels and advertising and activity on various Portuguese states in the operating government concerned for implementations of the project. This is in the opening of the license permissions plan, etc. from government agency in the form of the letter of industrial license and restrictions government of for foreign collaborations, etc. Providing guidance to India encourage future for marketing investment in India, projects in India and Indian joint venture overseas, identifications of professional investment awareness, which to be marketing for the proposed product, requiring how to size capital structuring, shaping and pattern of financing, arranging the negotiating foreign collaborations, communications, merge and takeovers, advisory service for capital recruiting, mm, capital recruiting core for the service, first examining the seeking capital structure of the client company to determine the extent of capitalization required, preparing a comprehensive memo for the SEPR and securing consent where the capitalized place the issue of one shares, CST and alternative capital structure compatible with legal requirements, place extended capitalizations on reserve and equivalent of miscellaneous by offer person and or efficiency of corporate securities such as equity share and preference share in the case of FE companies, preparing memorandum covering valuations of sharing and justify the level of premium applied for credit simulations and projections finance, representing letters for the activities connecting with the post projects. The total cost of the project to be undertaken. Second, drawing financing plan for the total project cost, which conforms to the requirements of the promoters and their collaborators, financing institutions and bank government agency and otherwise. Thus, preparing loan application for financing decisions from the local financing institutional banks and monitoring their progress, including presumptions, negotiations, section institutions, and notifications for financing, generally their communication service overlap with the activities of the project council and project teams, but the loan or trade. Celebrations also include the preparations of materials for financial assistance from the financial institutions, issuing underwriting, and underwriting is a big associated with the management of the public issue of corporate securities like fiduciary functions and debentures or bonds and aimed at mobilizations of money from the capital market for the corporate, following are some of the popular services provided by merchant bankers in the regard preparations of an actions plan, preparations of budget for the local expense for the issue, preparations of SEBI applications and assisting in obtaining consent, acknowledgement, drafting of prospects, selection of industry and broker underwriters, and signing underwriting arrangement, sections of issue, house and advertising agency for undertaking pre and post issue publicity, obtain the approval of individual underwriters and stock exchange for publications of the prospectus. The service covered into profile managements are undertaking investment in securities. Next, undertaking investment for non-resident India on both repatriations and non-repatriation basis. Undertaking review of the provident fund investment, trust investment, etc. Safe custody of securities in India and ORS, providing advice on sections of investment, carrying out critical evaluations of investment portfolio, collecting and submitting understanding divided on the investment. Next, I have working capital finance. Working capital finance, including the receiving of working capital requirements, preparing the necessary applications of negotiations for the sanctions of corporate creating facilities, the series of correlating of expecting documentations and other uh, formulates for distributing advertising on the issue to the venture for meeting long-term requirements of working capital, bill discounting and acceptance credit, merge and liquidations. The various functions that form part of these activities are as the follows: undertaking management audit in identify areas of corporate strength and weakness in order to help formulation guidelines and directions for further growth, conducting exploratory study on a global basis to look at Goan's market, foreign collaborations and prospective joint venture associates, opting approvals from shareholders, disposable status, governments and other authorities, monitoring the implementations of merger and combination scheme, identification organization with matching characteristics. Merchant bankers provide advice on equation provision after carefully examinations of all except wise financing estimate article of association provisions of companies etc. Rules and guidance of trade chambers in the issuing of annual capital financing, list financing, foreign currency financing, for foreign currency finances. Foreign currency finance is the fund provided for foreign trade transactions. It may trade the of export, import, trade finance. The main areas that are covered in these types of merchant activity are first one providing assistance of carrying out the study of tracking and in constructions contract projects, be providing assistance applications to working groups, license with RBI, EGGD, and other institutions, providing assistance in operating and operating banks accounts about providing assistance in operating export credit facilities from the EXIM Bank of Export of Capital Goods and arranging of the necessary government approvals and clearance, providing guidance on forward cover for exchange rates, recession, arranging foreign currency guarantee and performs bonds for exporters, project appraisal, the evaluations of the industry projects in terms of alternative values in technology, raw materials, production capacity, and locations of land is known as a project appraisal. Project appraisal may fall into following categories. First is financial appraisal, technical appraisal, economics appraisal, regulations of merchant bankers in India. Regulation Act 1992 outlined the requirement of for the registrations of merchant banker in India. Following are silent requirements of registrations of merchant banker, application for the grant of certificate. Second, application of confer requirements, consideration of the applications. Application of conform of the to the requirements subject to the provisions of sub-regulations of Regulation 3. Any application which is not complete in all respect and does not conform to the instructions specified in the form shall be rejected, provided that before rejecting and such application, the applicant shall be given an opportunity to remove within the time specified such objections as may be indicated by the board. Considerations of application. The board shall take into account for considering the grant of certificate all matters which are relevant to the activities relating to merchant bankers and in particular applicant with the following requirements, namely capital adequacy requirements, the capital replacement referred to in clause of regulation 6 shall be or net worth of net less than 5 occurs rupees. Grant of a certificate of NPL registrations. The board on being satisfied that the applications of illegally shall grant a certificate of internal registration from B and shall send and information to the applicant. Grant of certificate payment registration. Board of conducts of merchant bankers, merchant banks and investment bank. Merchant bank and investment bank are in charging terms, but the practice of producer following in USA for selling the security declaration with the rest of the world. Merchant banking is the functions of intermediate in the capital market and it's a purely a fee-based actually activity expect underwriting, whereas investment banking for both fee and fund-based activity. Merchant bankers assist issuers to raise capital and are responsible for successfully management of capital issue. They have also responsibility towards investor. The regulatory authorities require the merchants banks firms to observe a code of conduct and ensures compliance with the law or accounts and on behalf of issuers, issue management and merchant bankers. The public issue corporate securities in-house basic three functions, namely organizations of the issue, risk bearing and risk advertising, and marketing of the securities. Pre-issue management and post-issue management. ruling deadlines by the merchant bankers due to design the list companies in India. List companies entail more extensive view of companies as well as a greater degree of calculations with respect to the sharing of information and struggling of transactions as compared to unlisted companies. In case of a listed company, the provisions of the SEBI provisions of inside trading regulations 1992 as amended are applicable. The due diligence should not include review of unpublished price sensitive information expect in certain special circumstances. However, publicity availability information under the listening agreement signed by the lease companies with the stock exchange may not be equivalent to base and investment decisions. Therefore, is a case of a list company, care must be taken to ensure its consultations with the legal advertiser and relevant members of the transactions that the inside trading regulations are not valid in the due diligence process. This matter has to be dealt with on a case-by-case basis for list companies analysis of professional affairs of the SCBI substantial equations of shares to Regulation 1987. In the case of proposed equation transfer, will need to be made. In this chapter, main items is external commercial borrowing, home managers, underwriters, bureau issue, investment banking, red herring projects. Okay, in this will my summary is the term of merchant was used to the its roots in merchant. Someone define neither merchant banker as well as begin neither merchant nor banker. However, the term merchants banking was used as providing range of financial service starting from the appraiser ranging funds from banks and financial institutions. Okay, thank you very much. Next lecture, will start mutual fund. The important point of mutual funds. Okay, thank you.